Oh, hi, beer. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
All right, so those are terrible impersonations. This is Game for a Movie.
Yeah.
I am your host, Mike Butek. I am joined by...
Andre Bellinger.
How's your sex life?
What?
How's your sex life?
I think that's very personal.
Oh, okay.
Ha 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 ha. What a story,
What a
Mike.
story, Mike. My name's Mitchell.
If you couldn't tell by now, we are reviewing one of the worst movies of all time for our 15th episode.
Wow.
Yeah,
15
1-5.
episodes, guys.
Wow.
This is special.
Is it a special?
This is special.
Okay.
It is a
This is
special.
So are you setting the precedent that every 15 episodes henceforth will also be a special?
I think number 30, we're going to do Birdemic.
Okay.
This is my thought process.
Wow.
Ooh,
All right, okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
like-
a lot
you
of
like
folks.
that?
Yeah,
Sure.
a lot of people put that on par with The Room.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
fanfare isn't there.
The
Right.
fanfare isn't there. No,
Right.
but, you know.
Okay.
But we were talking about The Room for this
Yes.
15th episode.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Wiseau's seminal work.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
And we could have also watched his other movie, too.
Which one?
There's two, all right?
Best Fiend, friend.
Best.
So Best Fiends is not directed by Tommy Wiseau.
Oh.
He only stars in it. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
But I
Yes.
feel like
That's good enough.
he takes a script and makes it whatever he wants.
Yes.
Once he says the words.
For sure. You could tell that they were just like, okay, he's just going to do his thing. You guys have to improv around him. And that
Yes.
was it. You could tell.
So Tommy Wiseau is a creative genius. Can we all just start and say that?
Yes.
I was really talking about Big Shark.
Oh, Big Shark.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Okay. All right.
Is that even out yet?
It is 2019 is what it says.
Wow, we got a whole month left.
An 8.2 out of 10 from 20 reviews.
Sounds about right.
Love it. It's all from Tommy Wiseau or Wami Taizo.
Wami
like
Taizo.
I'm sure.
It released September 2019 in the UK, but we can probably find a copy somewhere.
I'm sure.
But Big Shark is probably on that short list.
So
Alright.
it's Jaws meets Tommy Wiseau.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
I can't wait.
Who would
It's
win?
bigger Jaws.
It's bigger Jaws.
We are missing T-Dog.
Unfortunately.
How do we know, really? I feel like his presence is always here.
His presence is felt.
Yes.
But it is always sad when we're missing T-Dog. But
I
at the
know.
same time, we can play Where's T-Dog?
Where's T-Dog?
We got some theories of where T-Dog is.
I think that he's on the roof of a random apartment building holding somebody else up for drug money. What kind of drugs? We don't know.
Oh,
But I think
okay. Yeah, I like it.
Let me put my tinfoil hat on real quick.
Yep.
I believe he is secretly the greatest detective in the world, and he's trying to figure out, once and for all, what exactly happened to Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh,
My stars!
There you go.
I've seen him on Reddit
Alright.
quite a bit.
Yes.
He is definitely a conspirator. Or conspirator. I think that might be the twist.
Maybe a little bit of both.
I think a
Plays
little
both
bit
sides
of
of the
both.
coin.
Yes.
I think Jeffrey Epstein's still alive somewhere.
Oh my god.
With Tupac, right?
With Tupac.
yeah,
Tupac.
Yeah.
in Cuba. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
and
Nice.
T-Dog's the one holding them, keeping them safe.
He's the
He's the
benefactor.
bodyguard.
Oh,
T-Dog has the bodyguard.
He's
Oh
the
no!
hitman's bodyguard.
the Mandalorian.
Oh, he's Mendo.
That's the Mando.
Or who's Baby Yoda in this case? Keep Jeffrey Epstein away
I was
from
about to say, it's like, no way.
Keep
him
Jeffrey
away.
Epstein away.
Oh,
All you have to do
God.
is tell him that he's 50. It's fine.
This went downhill fast. Oh my god.
We're
Well,
talking about the room,
Let's
right?
talk about The Room.
Oh, Tommy.
Speaking of downhill,
Yeah.
we watched The Room. If you follow us on Instagram, you saw some of our night of reactions.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Just about died.
Yeah, this movie.
It's great. I mean, it's
What-
awful, but
No, it's terrible. What do
Yeah.
you want to talk about? Like, how do we dive into this?
My
movie?
first question is,
Yes.
did you guys have fun watching the movie? Not asking if the movie was good, but did you enjoy yourselves watching it?
You know what? I messed up a part. We'll come back to your question.
Okay.
Because we have to announce what we're drinking.
Oh, that's right, of
Because
course.
it is The Room. We have to drink something.
I'm drinking Scotchka.
Scotchka. What are
the
you
name of
really
it?
drinking?
I am drinking Dogfish Head Suddenly Comfy.
Suddenly Comfy. What kind of beer is that?
Imperial Cream Ale is what it says on the bottle.
Okay.
It's tasty. Tastes
Nice.
like Christmas.
This is Harpoon's Winter Warmer.
Gotcha.
The holiday ale with cinnamon and nutmeg.
Nice.
I have it every year.
It's a
during
very
this
good
time of
beer.
year.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then our friends from Night Shift Brewing. You guys remember when we met the Night Shift Brewing guys?
Yeah. Of course.
Night Shift Brewing, we love you. This is called One Hop this time, which is a Mosaic One Hop IPA.
Oh, I get it because it has hops in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I also have a Morph, which is a rotating India Pale Ale from them as well, also
Nice.
known as IPA.
Ah.
But I have 2 from them because I have a 6-pack of random beers. I wanted to keep it the same tonight. So Night Shift Brewing, welcome to the podcast.
There we
Oh,
go.
I love it. So what's a rotating Indian Pale Ale? What does that mean?
Don't know. I would guess that it's always kind of different.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, like
That's-
the mystery flavor Airhead?
Yeah, okay. So that's what you mean.
Their R&D beer almost like.
Gotcha. That's exciting.
So there
Cool.
may be like a Morph 2.0 or something like that.
Sure.
I know like Stony Creek has Krankenstein,
Yes.
which they have different brews of Krankenstein.
Yeah.
So if you get like 7.0, it's like, oh, it tastes more hoppy. Or if you get 1.0, it's more fruity, you know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I'm guessing that's what this is going to be like. One hop this time, because that's the first one I cracked open. Pretty great.
Nice.
Pretty damn great.
Pretty damn great.
It looks great.
So, yes. All right, now back to your question.
Okay, now first, Andre, you have seen this movie a lot, which is why you're kind of spearheading the conversation.
A little bit, yeah, sure.
How many times have you seen this?
I've lost track. This is probably around like the 8th time I've seen it.
Eighth time you've seen this movie?
Yeah.
I think I'm a guy who, like, if I watch a movie again, it's a big deal. So I don't know how many movies I've seen 8 times.
No, and then normally I would agree is that I don't usually watch movies multiple times unless I really like it. But for me,
I think I have 5 movies that I've seen like 8 times.
That's
okay.
probably true.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like on the short list. Like it's probably it's probably the 3rd most times I've watched a film. Probably.
Wow.
Yeah, I would guess.
So-
Something like that.
Mitchell, how many times have you seen The Room?
This is my one and only time, though. I saw all the YouTube clips of like some of the greatest hits from The Room after
Yes.
The Disaster Artist came out.
Right.
And I really enjoyed that movie, which is based on the making of the film starring James Franco and Dave Franco. Anyway, so I really enjoyed the Disaster Artist, and then The Room. Of actually seeing it is another experience.
It's
Even with just your buddies.
a different thing.
Yes. You have to watch it with people.
Yes,
I have to
absolutely.
watch it
No,
alone.
this is like
Agreed.
don't watch this movie by yourself. I mean,
You're not going to enjoy it.
no, definitely not.
There's nothing to enjoy.
Right.
You're just going to be sitting there just mad that you decided to put on this movie, and you will stop it.
Yeah.
It will
absolutely.
not get through it. It's more fun when other people are suffering with you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. This movie requires friends and it requires alcohol.
Yes.
I would say.
So, let's jump into it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that being said, did you guys have fun? Like, what?
I'm glad I saw it with you guys.
Okay.
Like, I'm really glad I saw it with you guys because it did make it better than if I would have had to watch it on my own.
Yeah.
But that being said, I hated this movie.
Oh,
With
sure.
Almost every fiber of my being.
You are never going to watch this movie ever again.
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah. So with me, I love the in-theater viewing experience because you know, especially in a packed house, like the most recent one that I could think of where it was like the movie was elevated because of the theater-going audience around me was Get Out. When I watched Get Out for the first time, people were reacting. It was the first weekend it came out, so no one, everyone was hyped for it. But actually watching it, people were laughing at the right points or scared at the right points. It was just like a big communal experience. The Room has this very similar effect. For whatever reason, it is so on its face bad that everyone is just watching this train wreck all together. And it's just so much fun, especially when you do have alcohol. That's how you get past some of these 5-minute sex scenes that, are like 5 minutes separate from each other.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I legit forgot how front-loaded all the sex
It
scenes
is
were.
very front-loaded.
Yeah.
3 or 4 sex scenes in the first 10 minutes?
I think it's 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is an odd sexual relationship with the younger character. I forgot his name. But
Denny.
Denny, yes.
Denny, who's kind of, I don't know, Tommy
He's a
Wiseau's ward?
Yeah.
Ward.
It's
adoptive
his,
son,
it's
sort
his
of.
Robin to his Batman.
Sure,
Oh,
yes.
God.
I like that headcanon. Why not?
I'm
yeah.
Oh,
giving
that's
it-
a comparison.
It
Yeah.
is a comparison, and it's
Yeah.
accurate.
But this is if Robin watched Catwoman and Batman get it on.
Sure. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
And
Yeah.
say, oh, can I join you guys?
Yeah, exactly.
No, straight up. That is a line from the movie.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah, it's weird.
it's weird, and no one thinks it's weird, but everyone watching it.
Yeah, oh, right. Yeah, no, nobody in the actual, movie is like, oh, they're all, it's just Denny.
Denny's being a kid.
Denny's-
Oh,
yeah.
Denny,
Oh,
ruffle
Denny.
his hair a little
right.
bit. Yeah, no.
So
No.
let's move forward with the understanding that we all think this movie is objectively bad.
Yeah, of
From
course.
a
Yes,
filmmaking,
yes.
we're not going to deliver any hot takes and say that this is a good movie.
Right.
But I will argue this is a great movie-going experience.
Okay.
with the right people.
All right, I'm
and
happy about that.
It's the same way that I experienced Rocky Horror Picture Show for the first time.
Okay.
Yes.
I saw it in Palo Alto with was essentially mostly a group of Stanford students, but it's just
I saw it in Palo Alto with Stanford students.
No, it was like my buddy was living in Palo Alto at the time, and then we were like, I was 25, 26, so I was well after graduating. But it was just a lot of, just like a younger group, but they were just so into this really shitty movie. I don't think it's a good movie at all. But
I love Rocky Horror.
I would say Rocky Horror is more competent than.
Oh yeah, it's better than The Room.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, it's better than The Room, but I think it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
All the same. But again, the movie going experience, they're singing along, they are making fun of the movie as it's going. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with The Room, and I've seen that there are midnight viewings. And
right.
I do want to experience that.
Dude.
That is one thing. I will probably not watch it again in the setting that we were in.
Right, no, definitely not. Right.
But a theater, I would probably go back and watch it again.
Cool. Yeah. Agreed. 100% agreed, I would say. That's probably my favorite time I've seen The Room was the one time I went to a midnight showing, and it was like at a totally packed theater. It was like, I think... like a year before, I think they just announced the Disaster Artist was going to be a thing, and so then that was like,
spurhead all these,
yes, exactly, right.
I still can't believe this movie came out in 2003.
Yeah,
in terms of how it looks,
yeah,
and all that. Yeah.
Like I would have imagined, like if you would have said late 80s,
yeah,
sure, okay,
wow. yeah, sure.
But this movie came out in 2003.
Yes, and I was, they mentioned this in The Disaster Artist, and I was reading into it. You know how everything looked like it was out of focus?
Yep.
Yeah. Like, straight up, it looked like, because Tommy Wiseau wanted to film on both digital and film at the same time.
Yeah.
The issue is that the lighting has to be different for the mediums. And they went with something that was halfway in between. The crew knew that it was wrong.
Right.
And I will say this. For the crew that was involved in this movie, I'm not saying that any of them were destined to be Oscar winners at any point, but they were more competent than what was put up on screen.
Right.
That's kind of sad. That's my one thing that goes out for the people who made the movie. It's actively bad, but that should not be a representation of the crew who put that shit together. Right. They were just hired hands, and then their names are in the credits. They're attached to this movie. It's on IMDb.
Whether they wanted it to be or not.
Exactly.
Like I remember, like, I think the actress for Lisa, like, she just pretended that movie never happened for, like, years until this whole weird resurgence happened in, like, the early 2010s or whatever. And she, like, I think it took her, like, she said, like, 13 years or something like that to, like, finally be like, okay, fine, like, come out, like, I'll do, like, interviews about this movie or whatever. I mean,
jeez.
Yeah.
That's I don't blame her. Really.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Should we run through the plot for people who don't know?
I guess so.
Andre, do you want to?
I mean...
You've seen it the most.
I have seen it the most. It's basically, at the core, a very cliched love triangle story. And you can really
Start
tell...
love triangle, go from there.
Right. What's that? Yeah.
Start love triangle, go from there.
Yeah. You could totally tell that I think Tommy Wiseau went through some shit and tried to, like... You could definitely tell that he superimposed himself on the main character.
How would you know? What's his main character's name?
Johnny.
Whoa.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Tommy had a Lisa in his life.
Right, yes.
Her name was Liza.
Eliza, yes.
Liza.
No, I think her name was actually Lisa. Like, he just left it.
Copy and paste.
Yeah, it's just a super...
Lisa, this is against you!
So it's a super cliched story of, like, Tommy, or I should say Johnny, is, like, he's supposed to be the ideal, like, provider for his fiancée Lisa, but Lisa is, secretly having an affair with Johnny's best friend Mark, who's supposed to be, like, this young, like, stud guy.
Damn you, Mark.
Oh, and then, Lisa's mom is in the movie for a little bit. She definitely has breast cancer, but it doesn't get touched on at all after that.
It's definitely breast cancer.
It's definitely breast
It's
cancer.
the line delivery. That blew me away.
Yeah.
Yes.
She walks in and says, well, I got the test results back. I definitely have breast cancer. And that's it. They're
never
like,
brought up again.
She's
never.
like, yeah, Lisa's like, word, and then they move on to the love triangle she's in.
Right,
like,
yeah,
what?
exactly. And then, so basically Lisa is supposed to be Like, she's like the villain of the story. She's lying to everybody, saying Johnny abused her and that she doesn't want to marry her anymore. But then she pretends that they're still okay. And
But
then
why? Johnny just got a promotion.
Johnny is close to getting a promotion.
Yeah, very close
Right.
to
He's
getting
next to
that
getting
promotion.
that promotion.
And
Yes.
somehow everyone knows this?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
right.
what?
Like Lisa's own mom is like, you shouldn't leave Johnny because Johnny's gonna get a promotion.
How does Lisa's mom know that?
Yeah,
Like-
right. And
Well,
it's
like,
also
I understand
basically
if she knows, because they probably he probably told Lisa, who probably told her mom, because her mom's always there.
I guess.
But
yeah.
everybody else doesn't make sense.
No, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
outside of Lisa's, everyone's just like, Johnny, that guy who's due for a promotion? Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Dude, Johnny, he's a great guy.
He's
He's
a great
really
guy.
good at his job. He's about to get promoted. Who'd you hear this from? Oh, some news guy down the street.
right.
It's amazing how everyone in San Francisco knows about Johnny and how great he is.
I mean, you know,
Wait, this movie took place in San Francisco?
I couldn't tell.
You
Couldn't tell by the Golden Gate Bridge pan shots.
That was the establishing shot for just about every scene.
Every scene.
Yes.
Hey, we're still in San Francisco.
right. And you know, and then so Lisa and Mark are banging on the side, but then Johnny doesn't know that his own best friend is cheating with his fiance, and it's this whole thing, and it's
By getting fucked in the belly button.
yes, right. Yeah, I should say they're humping, they're dry humping each other's belly buttons basically.
Yeah. It's high.
Ugh.
It's very
It's
high.
very high.
Yeah.
They're getting very high in those scenes. It's yeah. Not
One time
great.
I think it was in the knee, too.
A
Like,
li-
it was
yes,
a little low.
right? And jeans were on. I
Jeans
think
were on,
Jeans
yeah.
were on. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Really.
Is Tommy Wiseau the most in shape, out of shape guy of all time?
Right? Yes.
Or
like
other way around? I don't know how to put it.
He's
Out of
like
shape, in
weirdly
shape guy?
Out of shape, in shape? I don't know. It's
well, because like he looks like an alien. You know, like
Yes.
he's so pale, like pallid, and it's just ugh.
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
weirdly toned in a way that I'm just not comfortable with. I'd
Yes.
like rather him not be toned. You know, it's like.
So there's
Yeah.
there's a joke in Family Guy where they talk about like the 1940s detective movies where it's
Okay.
like in shape, out of shape detective.
Oh yeah, he's just like all barrel chested.
And
Right?
he's all barrel chested and he's like, "Do you want a piece of me?" And the guy goes, "I'm not sure." And then he like takes a breath and his stomach just goes, "Yes, I do want a piece of you." That's what I think of when I think of Tommy. Is like
Yeah.
it's weirdly in shape, out of shape guy.
Yeah, it's very deceptive, and ultimately, I mean, trainers across the world are still debating on whether or not he is actually in shape.
Right. I mean, I actually currently on the Tommy Wiseau diet, so I'm trying to get that Tommy Wiseau
I think-
look, that physique.
I did want to give you a compliment, but then I didn't.
Right,
which I think
you're
is the
just
point.
you came in and you look very confused, which is what I'm going for.
Do you know what the whole workout plan is though? Throw a football.
Yes,
a lot.
Yes, just toss
your
it around.
one arm just gets
and it's not
more-
that far. Like you're just tossing him like 10 feet, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
with your best
Yeah.
buddy.
Few underarm.
If you underarm, maybe you go for maybe a little homoerotic tackle in the middle of the park every now and again.
Yeah. With Denny, who's way too into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
When you say an alien or Tommy Wiseau is an alien, I mean, it's things like that make it seem like, wow, this really came out of the mind of an alien. It's like, oh, how do human males bond? By throwing footballs around.
Right.
And that's it. Like, he just throws that in there. Like, there's no reason why that they're throwing a football in the middle of an alleyway dressed in tuxedos.
Right.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Before
definitely.
the wedding.
Oh yeah, of course, before the wedding. I mean, Mike, you famously brought a football to the wedding.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
kind of weirded out by it, but then I was like, whatever. This is how males bond. so.
Yep, exactly.
As
Right.
Botanic men, we always have a football.
Right,
There's always something being tossed around.
Yep.
Fair.
Yeah.
What's our favorite line from this movie?
I mean, well-established breast cancer is definitely up there for me.
That is definitely one of my favorites, especially because I think Lisa's mom was actually the best character.
No, I have one. No, she's on around
Lisa's
the
mom
best. Yeah,
is-
she's
yeah.
my favorite.
Like, she has
She
a
seals
line
the
about
movie.
breast cancer being totally real and never brings it up again, but yet she's still my favorite because she uses logic the most.
I think she does. Yeah. Somehow the most logic is infused in her character.
Yeah.
I will say, Greg Sestero's iconic "Keep your stupid comments in your pocket" is one of my favorites.
Ooh, that's very good.
That's a nice one.
And Greg is the best friend.
Mark. Yes. Mark.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
and
Mark.
Tommy and Greg are kind of best friends, or at least
real life,
that's
yeah.
the lore.
That is the lore.
Again, projecting Tommy's real life experience into this movie, him casting Greg as Mark Is that telling of like, hey, there's some resentment there for something? Like,
I don't know. I think
like the disaster
maybe.
artist never implies that, but
No.
it does imply that Tommy is jealous of Greg.
Yes. So in the audio, well, I listened to the audiobook version, but like the book is written by Greg Sestero. I don't know. I think he had like a co-writer on it, so who knows how much of it is his own words, but.
Yeah, but I usually think with co-writers, it's just more so like you get somebody that actually has written a book.
Yes,
before,
right, an actual skilled writer, but he's
yeah,
still telling a story,
yeah.
and you could tell that I think, I did think that Tommy envied Greg a little bit because he was like Greg Sestero was just trying to be like an up and coming actor in LA. That's like just like a good looking kid just trying to like find roles wherever he could, and they met each other in an acting class.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
And he was coming up around the time, like late 90s, early 2000s, where things like 90210 was still a thing.
Yeah.
And Greg is, what's his last name?
Sestero.
He kind of fits that look.
He does,
right? So
he is
Hollywood is looking
like
for
I'm not being crazy on this, but he is an attractive male. Like he could have been in a lot more things.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, there's a timeline where he has not like I don't even know like how great a career, but there's a timeline where he has a normal trajectory for a aspiring actor in Hollywood.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say he's a great actor.
No,
not at all.
But he's a good-looking dude.
But I think he also knew the train wreck going in, and he was like,
Yeah.
well, this is for my friend, and I'm just going to do it, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
So,
I would also say that he probably played that role because his best friend probably screwed him over with Lisa, and his name was Mark. I'm telling you, Tommy wrote this straight out of his life.
Yeah.
It happened in New Orleans.
All right. So the
Or
rumor
maybe
is,
New Orleans.
Right.
no one knows where he's from. That's
Yeah.
the thing. No one knows. If you hear Tommy Wiseau talk, you can't point out an accent. He claims he's from New Orleans, but I call complete bullshit.
No, definitely not.
How did he fund this movie? Because as bad as it was made, it still cost 7 figures.
It did.
Yep.
Well, because, like you said, he had it filmed on two separate sets of cameras, right? So
insane. Like, it blows me away. Like, that's why, the whole half-star thing with me is, like, if you made the movie, you get a half-star because of how hard it is to make a movie. At the end of the day, they made a fucking movie. It's awful.
They made a movie.
It is awful, and 16 years later, we're still talking about it.
For sure.
So,
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Well, and
like,
I think
sometimes you catch lightning in the bottle in the worst ways possible.
Definitely. And I think what separates this from most other known bad movies is that I think almost every other bad movie I've seen knows that it's bad at some point. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell that they're
This
not in on the
you can
joke.
almost
like,
tell like the heart was there to make it work.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. You, like it doesn't know, like, everything around it, you can just tell that it's so irreverent,
Well, and that can also be seen that he kept it in theaters for the full 2 weeks or
Right,
whatever it was
yeah,
to try to get
exactly.
it an Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
He checked all the boxes to make sure it was eligible for an Oscar.
Yes.
Eligible is the functional term
Yes.
because it was not going to get an
No,
Oscar.
it definitely
It wasn't even close.
No.
Not at all. Yeah, like in Disaster Artist, James Franco says that he wanted to make a Tennessee Williams drama.
Yes.
And if this is his version of it, you're right. There's heart. Like, he wanted to make that movie.
Yeah.
He wrote it himself. Like,
I hate that we're saying it has heart, but it does.
Well, it
and
does.
that's probably why it lasted as long as
For
it
sure.
has.
Right.
Is because it does have that heart that kind of peeks through.
Yes.
And that you can see the intentions are there. You can see that it's meant to be like it is a passion project,
Yeah,
like
right.
he always wanted to make a movie. He made a movie. He wrote it. He directed. He starred in it, or not directed, but close enough.
I think he did
He
direct
directed it.
Did
Oh,
he
I
direct
think
it?
he did
He
direct it.
I
straight
thought,
directed
I
it.
thought he brought in a director to like kind of do it.
Nope.
So
Okay.
he brought in, I forgot what the Seth Rogen character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that's-
He was
that's
like
what
the
I'm
main
thinking
like
of.
camera operator guy,
Yeah,
right?
so he was like the DP. So
Yes.
it's like, I don't know what the relationship was, but Tommy Wiseau is credited as the director of the movie.
Right.
So,
Okay.
he did the casting. And
I know he did the casting.
oh yeah.
So he's the casting director, though.
Right.
Oh God. Yeah, you're right. It's just everything that he could creatively control, he did in the movie, which is nuts. Anyway, it's awful.
It's a really bad movie.
Half star from your boy, but it's and then I'll bump it up to a 1 star because of the viewing experience.
Oh,
I had a
okay.
lot of fun with you
All right.
guys.
Yeah.
I laughed my ass off when he was. The best part about this movie is that there are long monologues that go nowhere at all, and it's the scene where this will not make it in any of the hypercuts on YouTube of like the greatest hits of the room, but it was such a great line and it got me completely off guard. It was a story of how Tommy or Johnny met Lisa for the first time, and there's a part in the story where he couldn't cash a check, and Mark's like, why not? And then Johnny responds, because it was from an out-of-state bank. I don't know. And then I just lost it. I'm like, why was that question asked? Why is that detail in here? It's never revisited again, much like the cancer. I don't know. It was so funny, and I lost it. I literally fell off the couch when we were watching that scene. So yeah, the viewing experience is awesome.
I mean, you've never had an out-of-state check bounce?
This it's from out of state, man.
Yeah, for Johnny's experience coming from Louisiana,
right,
Yeah.
from New Orleans.
That's an out-of-state check. Definitely not from out of the country. What?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You guys asked favorite line, and
Yeah.
like it's gonna be a generic one, but at the same time, I just love it.
Yeah.
When he goes into the freaking flower shop and he just says, "Oh, hi, doggy,"
Oh, hi, doggy.
Oh,
And he
classic.
pats her on the
and he
head.
plats it on the head. Like it's just it's one of those lines where it's just it's so stupid. And like looking back, seeing that he dubbed that whole scene over,
Right.
Yes.
like
Well, he dubs how much of it?
I think he dubbed almost all of his lines.
his
Like, his
own
lines
character
were too-
seems
Yeah.
to be
Yes.
dubbed the most. But that entire scene with "Oh, you're my favorite customer," like
Oh, John, you're my favorite customer.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah. It's and how quickly paced that scene was.
right.
Compared to how long the sex scenes were, and I'm like, wait, if you budget this out differently,
Right.
Oh my
and you
God,
really
the
want
sex
that
scene.
scene,
They
you could have let
reused
that.
footage from the first sex scene and the second sex scene.
They do.
They definitely
They
did.
recycle some shots. It's economic filmmaker
Oh
for
my
you.
god.
3 sex scenes.
They were
in that
like, I
movie.
like this sex scene, but I need it to be a little bit longer.
Need just a little more. What have we got left on the cutting room floor from the first one?
Oh my god. Anyway, there's so much to dive into. You could teach a class in the room, to be honest.
You probably could.
Probably could.
Yeah.
Like what not to do at film school. But
Yeah. Here's how this position works. This
Yeah.
is how Tommy made it work.
yes. Oh, exactly.
Oh god.
Yeah. It is a do and do not. Like it's here's what you do, here's what you don't do. So you say half a star, maybe a 1 with the
One with the viewing experience.
Okay.
So 1, that's the absolute limit.
Of like
Okay,
how like you're looking at this objectively, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. I've seen this movie 8 times.
I mean, it's a half. Yeah, it's like it's a half star. It's a half. 1.5 Scotchkas out of 5, right? It's a half filled glass of Scotchka.
0.5 scotch.
Which, by the way, they drink it. It's absolutely foul.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
no,
sounds
it's nasty.
miserable.
Yeah, no way I
Ugh,
can do that.
Scotch and vodka.
Yeah,
Scotchka.
yeah. I mean, what? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Here you go.
This is audio. So we don't know what's going on.
Cracking
Crack.
open a nice scotchka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that being said, yeah, I've seen this movie multiple times. I will probably see it at least a handful more. You know,
A
yeah,
handful?
I think. I mean, I don't know. Like, I like showing this movie to people
Yes.
only so far as to just gauge the reaction. You know what I mean?
I guess that's how I feel about like giving people Malort.
Yes.
Like, I'm used to
honestly,
Malort.
it might be a similar kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. I've got 2 bottles, by the way.
Oh God.
It might be better than scotchka.
Malort
might be.
might kill you, though. Like,
Right.
The Roomies is a bad movie.
Right.
Like,
Malort won't kill you.
I felt like I was on the doorsteps to death.
Yes.
After drinking it.
Shout out to Malort.
So the room.
So the room.
So
I'll
good.
have another.
I give it a big 0.
Oh, the
Big
first zero.
Big 0.
Yeah.
I can't with that movie. I understand your logic of they made a movie. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they made a movie that he enjoyed to make.
Yeah.
The rest of them may have been like living hell,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but he liked what he was doing, and so for that, I gotta give it a 0. 'Cause
Okay.
It was just, it's
He's so disconnected from the world.
He
Like,
is.
had no
right.
idea.
He
It's
had
just
no
so
clue.
fascinating.
he had no clue.
It's definitely a look into someone's mind. Like,
Yeah.
I'll say that movie offers a look into Tommy's mind.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I don't want to live in that mind.
No, definitely not. No.
But
We're not want to
visiting
hang out
for
with the
90
guy.
minutes or
But-
however long the movie is.
Exactly,
Then
right.
I'm there for it.
Right.
But, yeah, it's pretty wild. The 0, I don't blame you at all.
Yeah,
Do
right.
not
I guess
blame
I
you at
can't,
all.
but-
It was a bad movie.
It was nice hanging out with you guys, but
Yeah,
it was
nice hanging it out, but fuck this movie.
fuck this movie. It was funny because I felt more times like I was watching your guys' reaction
Uh-huh.
than I was watching the movie.
Sure.
And like I took a few pictures or stories or whatever
Yeah.
because it was one of those things where like just needed to get that reaction.
Yeah.
You guys had, and it was different reactions between the two of you. You were just like, what the hell's happening? Like,
Yes.
head in hand.
Yep,
And you're just
yep.
like, yeah, I'm enjoying this part.
More. It's the Jack Nicholson gif of just like,
Yes.
yeah.
So I stand at a firm 0.
Okay.
Can we talk about that ending?
God forgive me.
The fact that like he shoots himself?
Yeah,
Like, where'd that come from?
It's a great tragedy, man. You know, you feel bad for him
I do not feel
or
bad
something.
for him.
I don't know.
I feel bad that I watched it.
Fair
He
enough.
was so invested in Lisa, his only true love.
Yeah.
And then I think they showed the gun at the beginning, right? Did they do that at all?
I don't think they foreshadow the gun.
They don't foreshadow the
I
gun.
don't
They
think-
don't
yeah, I
even
don't
do a
think-
Chekhov's gun in
They
this
don't
thing?
do a Chekhov's gun.
No, I don't think they ever
I'm
showed
pretty
it.
sure they
Okay,
don't.
because
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, like, when did the gun show up? Like,
It
if he
did.
just randomly had it?
He just had it.
just
Yeah.
had
for
the gun.
sure. Yeah, as one does. Okay.
Oh no!
Does he?
Oh my god!
What?
I just pieced it all together.
What?
This movie's amazing. You know what it is? The
What?
Chekhov's gun. Remember when Denny was getting held up by Chris R., the drug guy?
Yes.
Oh, it's Chris
wrestled him-
R's gun.
It's Chris R's gun.
Oh!
my god!
Whoa!
Tommy Wiseau, the master filmmaker, foreshadowed that, and it took me 8 times for me to unlock the true.
That's a twist.
plot. It's
Very
that-
twisty.
The
very
gun that
twisty.
was meant to kill Denny ends up killing Johnny.
Exactly.
And Denny later.
Assuming Denny later.
Yeah. Oh
Denny
my god.
wanted to
damn.
join.
Yeah. Right away.
Denny
I
can
want
now
to be with
join.
Johnny.
Yeah.
I want to be with Gary.
Oh god.
God damn it.
Can we watch Rick and Morty? That
Yeah,
sounds
let's
great.
do it.
That's actually a good show.
Yeah, right? That's still one of my favorite episodes, too.
Oh, it's amazing.
We have to play that game. Okay, so, well, it seems like we're winding down on the room already, or can we keep going? Like,
I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, I'd say watch it with some friends, I guess. Go
Yeah.
in knowing it's going to be awful. The first
Okay.
time I watched it, I had no idea what it was. Like, my friends just were like, oh, we're going to watch this room, or watch this movie. It's called The Room. And they,
Yeah.
like, tried to play it cool. And
Do we know why it's called The Room?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if I would.
Because it all
know
takes
either.
place in a room?
Well,
it's
it
really
doesn't.
not in a
Like,
room.
Yeah.
Like, we're on a rooftop, we're
Yep.
in a
Yeah.
shop, we're in
Yeah, we
the
are.
living room, and then the bedroom.
Is it the
It's-
room where he kills himself? Like, is that it?
I guess.
Eh.
I don't know, man.
I gotta say, I'd rather call it the rooftop because,
Right.
you know, like that felt more.
the green screen?
The
Can
green
we talk
screen?
about
The
the green
green
the
screen?
green screen. Yeah.
It was solid.
It's
You mean
amazing.
that's not a real view from San Francisco?
I just don't. Look, I mean, even, like you said, 2003, green screen technology is at a place where you can make that look real.
Right?
They
Yep.
Yep.
through whatever reason, they did not make that look real at all.
No, it was.
It is
that's
so
real bad.
actively bad.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Oh my god, it blows my mind. It's just like you hire people to do this anyway.
Yeah.
And it all it's like the top down. It's like the owner of an NFL franchise called, let's say, the LA Chargers. It says awful from the top, and then it just disseminates down to the rest of the team. And I'm seeing
You
that.
seem to have a personal experience.
Yeah.
there.
Huh.
I hate this Spanos family so much.
huh.
Anyway, they make it really hard to root for my Chargers. Anyway, yeah, the room, same.
The Room.
I think it's the same thing. Top down,
Same thing.
top down.
Rotted from the top down.
But at least it was entertaining to watch. I'm
Chop
saying.
off the head, there is no other.
We might be
Yes.
laughing at it, but we're still laughing.
Yeah, I mean, look, 16 years later, and still gonna go on, I'm sure, because of the book and then the movie.
And the funny thing is,
Disaster Artist.
like, when I posted something about us talking about it, people know what it is.
Mhm.
You know, like, it is.
Right.
Yes.
You're right on it. 16 years later, and people are still talking about it.
Yeah.
I will say, it is really lightning in the bottle because Best Friends, Fiends, however you want to pronounce it, not
Yep.
the same itch. I went to see that in theaters, and
This is why I'm hoping Big Shark's better.
right, like that's the thing is that like
I'm hoping for the room of shark movies.
right, and I don't. God, but it's hard to capture that, I guess, really,
I
because
agree.
it's too competent, and it's kind of like it's not good enough to be an entertaining film. Obviously,
Yeah.
as Tommy Wiseau, and he's going to torpedo anything he's in, but it's also.
Torpedo, I got you.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
there you go.
Shark
Yeah,
pun.
yeah, shark
well done.
puns. Okay,
Yeah, all right,
yeah.
I see what you're biting down on.
But it's not bad. It's like it still knows what it still knows it's a Tommy Wiseau movie, so it's too like competent, if that makes any sense. You know,
Yeah.
doesn't
Right.
capture that surrealist, awful badness. I guess whatever. Best Friends. Maybe skip on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
what shouldn't we skip on, or maybe what should we skip
Yeah.
on?
Oh.
Well, yeah. Now how do I twist that?
I like that segue. Hell yeah.
Cool. I'll start. Ford vs Ferrari, easy one, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen it already.
Okay.
It is what I view as kind of a throwback in a movie that, frankly, you just don't see as often as I think you would back in like the 90s and stuff, in terms of what big production companies would throw their monies behind. And in this one, it's a period piece set in the 60s about race car drivers, and you have two megastars leading the way in Matt Damon and Christian Bale. And, honestly, without things like Batman or things like any kind of MCU franchise, you don't see as much money put into ideas like this.
Right.
Like big action set pieces, done based on a true story, but not a story that a lot of Americans would be familiar with. So I thought it was very well done. It's definitely a classic, kind of a sports movie kind of thing where you get the rise and the fall, and then the ultimate event at the end, which is like whatever the race in this case is, a 24-hour race in Le
24
Mans.
hours of Le Mans.
It's incredible. And that was my favorite part of this movie, was how they nailed that. Because if you do not nail the racing, then this whole thing is for nothing.
Right.
And it's everything from the cars crashing into each other. It's the sound. It's all of it. You feel like you're actually in the driver's seat. And James Mangold does a great job directing this. He's coming off Logan, where he had a Academy nomination for screenplay. With that, he might get it again as another nomination for Ford vs Ferrari, because he wrote this too.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is just a lot going for it. And Matt Damon being in a good movie for the first time since The Martian, that's refreshing to see for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
It's been a while.
Oof.
Been a while.
has been.
Downsizing, not that great.
No.
He did a movie called The Great Wall. What?
That was
Oh
terrible.
my god, I
Oh
forgot about that movie.
my God.
That
Yeah.
is something that could be on our bad movies list.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would watch that for a bad movie for sure.
So-
You seem too excited.
Oh,
about
maybe I should have hid my.
that. You should have hid your
I
excitement.
should
I
have.
am going to take that away from you.
Damn it!
So, welcome back, Matt Damon.
Yeah.
So, it's great. He's playing Carl
Was he in
Shelby.
Suburbicon too?
Suburbicon. I didn't see it. If he was, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was Coen Brothers, I think. I gotta
Okay.
look it up, but I'm pretty sure that was him.
Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah,
But
it was him. Sorry.
Christian Bale, who was just playing Dick Cheney last year,
Yeah.
loses like £1 billion to play this very slender race car driver.
Right.
And he easily has one, the best role, and two, knocks it out of the park. So
He's awesome.
he's amazing.
Yeah.
He is absolutely amazing. And I was looking at his IMDb, just looking at all the Academy Award nominations that he had. He had no nominations until after the Dark Knight stuff, starting with The Fighter. So starting with The Fighter on, and you get American Hustle, you get
Yep.
Vice, there's like so many of them. And
I still
I'm blown
love the
away.
fact that like it's literally every other movie. He's 300 pounds. He's 20 pounds. Like,
Dude,
you
yes.
know, like
Crazy.
obviously I'm over exaggerating, but
He
it's,
commits.
yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does commit.
Nobody else does the
I
swing
mean,
weight.
that
like
can't be
Christian
healthy,
Bale.
right? Like I don't know.
For
know.
somebody else, probably not. But for Christian Bale, he somehow makes it work.
You're right. I guess so.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, obviously, he's a man of means, so
He
I'm
does,
sure he's
yes.
working with professionals who are
Right.
making
And,
sure.
and,
He's
and,
not-
like,
yeah,
this
he's
is,
not
this is
doing
his
it
whole entire
deadly.
profession. He
Yeah.
can set aside the time to get that stuff done. So,
Yes.
Right.
but-
Like, you don't have to watch this movie; just look at the stills online. But The Machinist is probably the
Right.
skinniest that he got.
Yeah.
and that was
He was. Oh my God, he
the-
was.
Yeah, it wasn't too far before Batman Begins, and wasn't too far after American Psycho, where he was like pretty fit. You know,
Wasn't it? It was like he had Dark Knight, Machinist, Dark Knight Returns. Those were his. Or
so Batman Begins, Dark Knight. I don't know what order those went in.
I thought it
terms
was
of
the
where
opposite. I thought it
Machinist-
was 2 and then 3.
I think
I
it was
thought-
1 and 2.
Yeah,
Was it
well,
one then too?
let's look it
Alright.
up. But
Yeah,
I didn't.
pulling it up now.
When I was a kid, I did not know who he was until I saw Batman Begins. But
Same.
you know, so anyway, shouts to those people. Great kind of a throwback in terms of what kind of movies Hollywood used to make, and it's awesome that some studios are still willing to take a risk on a project like this. And you know, it's of course positioned to get some Oscar nominations and all that. But at the end of the day, it's a good movie. It's not only just a trophy grabber. Like
Machinist
it's
was
a fun watch.
before Batman Begins.
There
Okay.
you go. So he bulked up to get to
both
that
of
movie.
them.
And
That's
then
pretty crazy.
in between Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises was The Fighter, which
And he
was
got very skinny.
short and
Right.
or yes,
He was
skinny.
very
short
And
and
very
he
good.
got his Oscar. So
Yeah.
anyway, highly recommend it. I'm going to give this one. What can we do? 4 out of 5, right? Let's do 4 out of 5 hours at Le Mans. Or 4 out of 5 racing. I don't know.
laps.
Laps, whatever.
Sure. Fuck it. Yeah.
Fuck it. 4 out of 5 record laps. How about that? Record laps.
Oh, there you go.
Because he
Nice.
set a lot of records.
Nice. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, 4 out of 5.
I'm sticking with. Well, I'm gonna give a review to that too.
Okay,
Just
cool.
Just a number. 4 out of 5 wrenches being thrown.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
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 Wrenches, that's good.
So, one of the ones I saw in between, I saw Ford Vs Ferrari, which is one I've been wanting to talk about. I'm also going to talk about, spoiler free, because these guys have not seen it.
Yes, please.
Knives Out.
Yeah.
Yes! Woo! Ryan Johnson!
So fucking
The
good.
Last Jedi 2.
The Last Jedi 2.
When I say it may have been my favorite movie of 2019,
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. It may have been
awesome.
my
That's awesome.
favorite
I'm so
movie
hyped.
of 2019. It was a great cast.
Yes.
Daniel Craig once again killing it with the Southern accent.
Love it.
Because he was great in Logan Lucky as Joe Boom.
Yep.
Now he plays Benoit Blanc, the detective.
Okay.
He is Creole descent.
Oh, I can tell.
Okay.
And yes, and it is phenomenal. It's got Chris Evans, Ana de Armas. Should definitely deserve an Oscar nomination. In my
Would you
opinion.
say she's lead or supporting?
She is lead.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it is such a big cast.
Yes,
It
you
is,
got
yeah,
Jamie Lee
it's-
Curtis is great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Michael Shannon, Don
love
Johnson,
Michael
Tony
Shannon.
Collette, Lakeith
Yes.
Stanfield,
Oh,
Christopher
Lakeith.
Plummer.
Yes.
Like it is just such a good cast.
It's a murderer's row, if
It
you
is a
will.
murderer's row. It is a whodunit.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to figure out who killed the patriarch of the family.
Cool.
What I like about it is that it subverts your expectations. You're thinking one way, and then all of a sudden it takes you another.
Love it.
It does it really well. The whole time you're thinking one thing, and then just boom. Oh wait, no. You know.
It's funny because he did that with Star Wars characters and pissed a lot of people off.
It did, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
It turns
Yes,
out
he
it's
did.
fun when you just make up all of the characters.
Yeah, maybe.
and-
Yeah, exactly right. Like maybe, maybe you run the risk of pissing off a lot of nerds when you do it with established characters that people have.
Maybe it's the
to.
problem of the nerds.
It is.
You know what?
Hey man, I love Last Jedi.
I actually
on the
don't mind
record,
that.
On the
I am
record.
a very big fan of Last
Same
Jedi.
here.
Yeah.
So,
So
The only thing I hate was the Casino Planet, but
Yep.
I get why they had to do it.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
How he
that's it.
plotted it, it's, that part I guess. But
how's the casino plan in this one?
The Casino Planet. that
did they
go
free
to-
the horses or whatever?
The
Is
horse
it in the
animal. The
The
horse,
horse animal, yes.
The horse
and they just
animals?
run through the casino. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Alright,
It
sweet,
happens like shot for shot. It
Right,
almost
right.
could have
Like the
been pulled
classic
from the
Ryan
movie.
Johnson beats, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it could have been pulled from the movie and added in.
Yeah.
But really, I think it might get a 5 out of 5.
Wow.
5 out of 5 knives because
Okay.
he has like
right.
he has like an Iron Throne knife thing.
Oh right, because
Kind of
Knives
thing.
Out.
Yeah.
So
Get it.
who
Cool.
do you think won the movie in terms of like best performance?
Ana de Armas. Really,
Okay.
Really?
And I really mean that.
Wow.
I think so. I actually preferred Joe Boom versus Benoit Blanc as
Or
far
Daniel
as
Craig?
the
Yeah.
Daniel Craig characters
Yeah.
that are similar.
Yeah.
Now he's still great. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I preferred that. Tony Collette's character is really annoying to me, and she nailed that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I will say that she did great. Those are the two that stand out. Chris Evans was great, but he was just kind of,
Is he given a lot to do? Like that's the issue with some of these bigger casts. It's just like sometimes.
Yeah. My issue was more so they kind of took a while to introduce him. Like they kind of realized, okay, this is Chris Evans' character. We'll bring him in second half kind of
Yeah,
thing.
got it.
But I understand his character motivation. Really, I gotta say, yeah, it's Darmas.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
she was fantastic. She really blew me away. And
Could you set the table for us for those who don't know how this movie begins? Like obviously with the whodunit, it's just like okay, the patriarch is dead, but why is everyone at this mansion? Are they all related? Like what's the
okay, yes. So Ana de Armas is the caretaker of the patriarch.
Okay.
She has been his nurse, but really she's more just like a person to talk to.
Yeah.
He kind of tells her everything. You know, it's just one of those things. Christopher Plummer is the patriarch. He is a murder novel writer. That's why he has all the murdery stuff in his house. He's like really famous. I'm just looking up. Jamie Lee Curtis is the daughter. She started her own company with her husband. Yep. They kind of, and their son is Chris Evans. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember who else. We've got Michael Shannon is given control of the publishing company. He's the son.
Yes.
And he's given control of the publishing company of the dad's books. So basically the only reason they're in business is because of the dad's books.
I love Michael Shannon, and I think he might be the successor to the Willem Dafoe throne.
You think so? I can see that. You're right.
An actor who's great at playing batshit.
Just crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Michael Shannon.
Right.
Tony Collette is...
That's I like that.
I'm a fan of his. Very big fan.
Tony Collette is a daughter-in-law. The son is killed somehow. I don't really remember that off the top of my head. It's not important.
Okay.
But basically, the patriarch has been giving her and her daughter money, so the daughter can go to school, and the Tony can pay off stuff. I guess getting money.
So people want things from other people.
Yes. Okay. Lakeith Stanfield is Lieutenant Elliot.
Okay.
He's there as...
is he playing a detective?
He's playing a detective.
Okay.
All right, let's hope it goes better than Death Note. Oh, jeez.
Sure.
I'm sure it did, but... yeah.
And then there's a kid that's a right-wing nut that's always on his phone.
There it is.
So,
cool.
yeah.
Sweet.
Always on his phone. That's
cool.
played by Jaden Martell, who you may recognize. That guy.
That guy. Oh, wait.
I do recognize him.
What was
I don't know where he's from, but I do recognize him.
Oh.
He was in It.
Oh, yeah. That's
okay.
That's
there
the
it
only
is.
thing I recognize.
Yep. Done.
He's in it.
He's in It. Yeah.
So he's the main little boy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah.
Main little boy.
The main little boy.
The main lad.
So yeah,
he's the main lad who's fighting the clown. Yes.
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 So it sounds like this is just a bunch of Hollywood stars having a blast in an Agatha Christie novel.
Yes, exactly. And that's exactly what I would compare it to. One of my favorite books of all time is And Then There Were None, which is an Agatha Christie book. I highly suggest it if you guys are looking for a good book.
Yep.
And it felt very much like this. They are all there for his birthday. They all leave. Next morning, he's found dead. Okay, what happened? And it starts like he's already dead. It's a week later where they're still getting... They've done the funeral and that kind of stuff. They originally ruled it a suicide. Now they're not so sure.
There you go.
So, yeah. But that's the base for the start of it.
Yep.
It is a very good movie. So
Solid.
yes.
I'm very excited.
Yes.
Awesome.
I would see it again like that.
5 out of 5 knives.
5 out of 5 knives.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Yep. So,
Right.
Andre,
It's my turn?
we look to you.
Okay. If you will permit me, I want to give a brief shout out to Spirited Away, which is the last movie I've seen in theaters.
It's great because Studio Ghibli, thank you, is having like a run in American cinemas, which
Correct.
is really cool.
Yes.
So, like, I saw Spirited Away before, obviously, but what did we watch together?
We watched Howl's Moving Castle together.
Yes. I really enjoyed that.
Me too.
Really enjoyed that.
Right. And those were both so Howl's Moving Castle and then also this time Spirited Away. Those are the first time I saw those films in theaters.
thanks for the invite, guys.
I think we invited everyone.
We gave
Not
you
the
the
House
invite.
Moving Castle, no.
Yeah.
Are we sure?
I'm pretty sure. I was like, hey.
I think that was back in the group me days, but I think we totally invited people to that.
Yep.
I don't remember that.
Whatever. It was just a Mitchell and Andre date, and it was fabulous.
Well, if it was one of the days I was working, then fine. But if it wasn't, then screw you guys.
I'm sure it was like a Monday or something. But
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Anyway.
whatever. It's all right.
Fine, whatever. You guys are the worst.
Anyways, Spirited Away. I mean, I'm not gonna. There's no hot takes here. I think this movie is close to perfect as it can get.
Yep.
I absolutely adore this movie. It's probably it fights for my first place Ghibli film.
It's fun. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
What?
That's my favorite.
Yeah,
too.
Princess Mononoke is my personal favorite. I still
okay.
think that movie's so good.
That one, so.
Anyways,
Yeah, very good.
it's awesome.
Nice. You guys are enlightening me.
Yeah, any of the Ghibli films are worth watching. And seeing this in the theaters for the first time, not obviously the visuals were spectacular, but I think what I really appreciated the most was the sound design of this film. Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli at large, I should give credit to the whole entire studio. They're really good at capturing the sounds of nature, and well, not even just nature, just like every single fantastical environment. You know, like you are really absorbed into the scene, just by how well all of the ambient sound effects are. Yeah, I don't know. This movie is just a visual masterpiece. Like the music is just so engrossing. It's I don't know. It's a surreal experience because of how differently paced it is, and I think this goes for a lot of Ghibli films. Like I think you noted it when we went to see Howl's Moving Castle, where there's a whole extra act in there that aren't
it felt
in.
like 4 acts.
It did,
like,
yeah.
The beats of the movie were very different from Americans.
Exactly, and it did feel. I mean, it's kind of like a lackadaisical pace almost, but it's still just this really awesome journey to go through, like to see Chihiro's journey through the spirit world, as it were. I mean, I'm going to be talking in very general terms because it's hard to nitpick at this movie, I guess, but I've seen this movie I'd say probably maybe 6-7 times, which now is super sad because this movie deserves way more watches than The Room does, I would say. So I should probably watch it more to fix that. Anyways, Spirited Away is just an absolutely amazing movie. I'm going to keep, I would say, if you haven't seen it, absolutely do in the theaters, if at all possible. I have no idea how long this, Fathom Events thing is running, but I would say, let's see, 5 Water Dragon Spirits out of 5.
Look at that.
Yeah.
2 5s this.
Absolutely.
It's easy because Spirited Away is that's the first Japanese film to win an Oscar, I believe,
for
best animated picture. So
but still.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to jump into things that we should not see coming up?
I was just about to look it up, and you just caught me with my pants down.
I'm gonna have to. I'll cover for you.
Yes.
I have to say I am excited / terrified of the Sonic and the Hedgehog movie now.
That's the thing. They fixed it.
They
fixed it.
They fixed the look.
Fine.
They fixed the look. But I'm still
What
terrified that movie's gonna be bad. I don't know. Well, it's gonna be bad. I should say it's gonna be awful. But I want to know how awful it's gonna be. You know,
I want to hold your hand and say, Andre, everything's gonna be okay. You're right. This movie will be bad.
So I don't think it will be bad.
Right.
I think it'll just be middle of the road. I think it'll be what it is.
I kind of
And that might be worse.
That's what I mean. Exactly. I kind of hope it's bad, worse than that.
Yeah.
I guess, right? In a weird way.
I guess. I'm just glad they listened, and I'm gonna support it. I'm going to buy a ticket to that movie, and I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it on Valentine's Day. Obviously, it's the most romantic film you could go to. I think.
Yeah, it comes out on Valentine's Day. It's so worth it. You know, a boy and his hedgehog.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why I'm curious about it. Even with the new trailer, it looks aggressively mediocre. You know. Sure. I will say there is a small Easter egg where I'm sad at myself for knowing this, but there's a little quick scene of where he's running around the hotel room or whatever, and there's 7 different copies of him because he's moving around so fast, and one of the copies of him is him doing the animation from the old games where he's falling down a ledge, and I'm okay, they did the ledge, they did the little tripping animations.
See, it's done with heart.
Crap, somebody on that team somebody on that animation team cares about Sonic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's what makes
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be
great.
Bad.
I don't know, but I'm just saying it's gonna be great. Fine.
There you go.
Mitchell, give it another time.
Yep, I found something. So coming out. So what's today, guys? December 2nd.
3rd.
So 3rd. So in 10 days, Uncut Gems will receive its wide release.
Oh yeah.
Uncut Gems starring Adam Sandler. I'm just looking at the bill here on Wikipedia. Okay.
Yep.
This is how it lists the actors. Adam Sandler first.
Mm-hmm.
Second name. Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, he's a big part of the...
Garnett.
No, he's a big part of the trailer.
Former power forward for the Celtics and for the Timberwolves. Yes, and the Brooklyn Nets.
Anything is possible.
Kevin Garnett.
I just love the 4th person on the top build cast for IMDb is The Weeknd.
The Weeknd. And Old School Weekend with the weird hair. So
Yeah.
they shot this probably a while back. But also in this, Idina Menzel, Lakeith Stanfield. But Adam Sandler, back to the top of the call sheet. He is the guy who's actually been getting a lot of Oscar buzz for this. And now it could be just a thing where he's been a part of the Hollywood community for a very long time. He is in a role where, we have seen him in serious roles before, like Punch Drunk Love and Spanglish. But this is something where a lot of people are buzzing about how effing great he is in this movie. And it's about a degenerate. He gambles. He bets on the ponies. He bets on basketball, which is why Kevin Garnett is involved in this. And it's coming from our friends from A24.
Yeah.
And it is, so it's
Everything says it should be good,
yes.
except Adam Sandler. And
That's the weird thing. So
Yeah.
a lot of people, if you have not seen Punch Drunk Love, which is a Paul Thomas Anderson directed film, he stars in it. It's more serious.
Yeah.
I would recommend that as kind of a way to freshen your palate, as it were, for what kind of roles Adam Sandler can play. He has been in a lot of shit movies. I'm sure he'd be the first to admit it. Like, he literally takes movies to take his family on vacation.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're gonna go to Hawaii, and this is like just to go to Hawaii, and then they'll shoot a movie. He is also
just go with it.
just go with it. That's and then all
He
these
went on
Netflix movies that aren't great.
Oh,
Like,
he went on African safari with his kids for Blended or whatever that was. Like,
there you go.
Okay.
There you go. So a guy who makes those decisions, and he signs this mega deal with Netflix, and then out of nowhere he takes this role for Uncut Gems, and this is supposed to be like a gritty drama about a guy who gets in bad with the wrong people when you're betting underground stuff. So anyway, this looks very interesting. This is a segment about being excited for something. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's bad. I haven't seen it, but I'm so damn excited.
I mean,
for
that
this.
trailer, the one trailer I saw left an impression on me. I'm definitely curious.
Yeah, very excited.
I'm intrigued.
There's a lot of energy around it.
Hesitant is the best way.
This is getting so part of my ignorance. This is an A24 thing, so it's getting a theatrical release, right? It's not straight to Netflix or anything like that. Okay.
No. So Netflix is going to be the distributor afterwards, but
got it. Okay.
it's going to have a theatrical release. I'm not sure for how long, but I saw international, like Netflix has the international distribution rights, so it's definitely going to make its way to the U.S. via that platform at some point. But I think they're pushing this as a theatrical movie, which is great.
You guys didn't talk about what I was expecting you to talk about, so I picked one because I was just kind of like, okay, they're not going to talk about this. I have one for each, excited and not.
Okay.
Not, I think I've done it before when we did our Comic-Con one.
Yeah.
I'm not excited for Cats as we get closer and closer to that
Oh
day.
yeah, that's happening.
It is happening.
That trailer gets worse and worse every time I watch it.
And the funny thing is, so it's the same weekend as Star Wars, just to like.
Oh, it's going to get demolished.
It's gonna get absolutely demolished.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's like when Alan the Chipmunks came out. when Force Awakens came out.
Ultimate programming.
Yeah, they're counter programming, but it doesn't make any sense because Cats just does not look good.
Right.
So that's not excited about.
Shouts to Tom Hooper.
The one I'm excited about. I went to opening day of Jumanji when it came out.
Hey!
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
I really, really enjoyed it.
It was a lot
me
of
too.
fun.
It was a
Yeah.
great movie. And
Yeah, I
so
had fun.
Jumanji The Next Level comes out. It comes out 2 weeks from now, maybe just
it's
a week
pretty
from
close.
now. Yeah, it's we're into the month of it.
Yeah.
And I am looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I really am.
The first one was a lot of fun. Like
Yes.
that is just like the perfect's not the right word, but like the perfectly executed popcorn
Yep.
flick.
And now we've got Danny DeVito and Danny Glover in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where it's just
Well, it's weird, right? Because like, how much Danny DeVito is actually in that movie, right? It's the likeness of Danny DeVito.
it's
you know?
the character of Danny DeVito.
Yes,
But
yes.
it's exactly how Jack Black was, where it was just kind of like Jack Black is playing a millennial girl.
Yes.
You know, like
Yeah.
and it was hysterical. It was one of my favorite things. So now they're playing like The Rock and Kevin Hart are playing old men.
Yes.
So I'm kind of actually going, all right, this, I'm here for it. So I don't know it's going to be as good. It's definitely not going to be as good as the original because that came out of nowhere.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm hoping it's going to be good enough where I'm just sitting here going, hey guys, I was right. I liked
Yeah.
it. You know, like that kind of stuff.
Oh, for a fun time.
I am so into movie stars having fun on screen,
Yes.
which is what Knives Out sounds like, and the first Jumanji was definitely that.
Exactly.
So I don't know, it just sounds like a nice little
It sounds like fun.
yeah. Nice little fun light movie over the holidays.
Yeah.
Something anyone could watch,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So I'm into those movies for sure.
Well, that'll do it for episode 15. I'm mostly putting an end to this because my battery is at 12% battery.
Oh my gosh.
double
So
digits.
we are going to save it just in time, hopefully.
Nice.
But yeah, so for myself, Mike B. Tank,
Andre Bellinger.
Mitchell Clements.
thank you guys for listening. This was our Room podcast, and
was.
this is Game for a Movie.